Today we are going to learn how to represent and interpret dot plots. Dot plots are one way to give a picture of data. A dot plot is a visual display of a distribution of data values where each data value is shown as a dot or sometimes an X above a number line. We will be using dots. A dot plot is also known as a line plot. More frequently than not, we will describe it as a dot plot. Let's practice this. Number 1 says Jasmine asked her class how many pets they had. The results are shown in the table. Represent the data in a dot plot, then interpret the data represented in the graph. So if you notice, our first step is to draw a number line, and I have already done that for you. Your second step is to place any number, or place as many dots above each number as there are for responses for that number. So we would grab the responses from this table. And we include a title. Anytime you have a dot plot, you need to have a title. So the title right here would be our number of pets. So that's what we need to write underneath the number line. And then now we're going to plot our dots. Our first number is a 3. So we're going to mark out 3 so we don't use it more than that one time. And we're going to place a dot above 3. Next number is a 2. Mark out 2 and place a dot above 2. Please press pause now and press play when you have finished taking all the numbers from the table and putting it into your dot plot. The last thing we need to do with this example is to interpret the data. That means that what information does this dot plot tell us? Well, if we counted the dots, it would tell us that 24 students responded to the question of how many pets they had. If we look at our line, our number line, we would notice that the biggest number is 4. That means no one has more than 4 pets. We also can tell that 4 students have no pets, and the response given most, mode most. So our answer is 2, and therefore that tells us that our mode is 2. The most given response is 2. So let's look at number 2. Number 2 says, Javier asked the members of his art group how many projects they were taking. Okay, so the results are shown in the table. Represent the data on a dot plot, then interpret the data. So remember our step 1. Our step 1 was to draw a number line. Then we need to look at our data and say, okay, the smallest number is 0, so I'm going to put a 0. The biggest number I see is 5, so I'm going to put a 5, and then fill in the spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? Then remember that we need to include a title. So let's name this title Number of Projects. Nothing fancy, just explain exactly what this dot plot is representing. So after that, we're going to take the numbers here and place them into our dot plot. Again, cross out the 2, place a dot above the 2. I would like you at this time to press pause and fill out the dot plot and press play when you are finished. Okay, so this is what your dot plot should look like. Above 0, there should be 1 dot. Above 1, 3 dots. Above 2, 5 dots. Above 3, 3 dots. Above 4, 2 dots. And above 5, 1 dot. Okay, so now it's our time to interpret the data. What is this dot plot telling us? Well, let's count up the dots. And some of you may have already done so. What or how many people responded to this question? That would be 15 people. So 15 people responded. What else do we know? Or what else is a good fact to pull out? Another good fact is that what's the greatest number? It's 5. That means nobody has more than 5 projects. Nobody has more than 5 projects. Okay? And then let's look at the mode. What is the most projects people have taken on? And the mode is 2. The mode is 2. So that means that that's the most projects taken. And then there is one person that's not doing any projects. One person is taking 0 projects. And that's an interesting fact about this dot plot. So this is how to just look at the dot plot and interpret the data, see what's going on. In our next video, we are going to learn a little more detail.